This is Ponniyin Selvan, episode 10. In last week's episode, we saw Kundavai and Vanati meet with Kumbakonam astrologer and Vandiyadevan's sudden entry disrupting the meeting. While we wondered what brought Vandiyadevan all the way from the banks of Kollidam to the astrologer's house, we saw Nambi reveal that Parvetariyar's young wife is his sister Nandini. Are you all eager to know Nambi's story? Let's dive in. Nambi began narrating his story. I was born in a village next to the Vaigai river of Pandya dynasty. Everyone in our family are Parama Vaishnavas. One day, when my father was visiting the flower gardens in the river banks, he found a baby girl left all alone. The baby was very beautiful, and everyone in our family instantly fell in love with her. We took her in and named her Nandini. Showered with attention and affection, I loved her like a sister. As she grew up, she became very devoted to Lord Vishnu, and seeing her devotion, everyone thought she would become like Andal. But in my mind, I had no doubt that she was indeed Andal's reincarnation. After my father passed away, Nandini became my responsibility. We both travelled to various towns and cities to sing Andal Pasuram, and anybody who heard Nandini singing became mesmerized by her voice. Once, I had to leave Nandini alone and go on a voyage to Thiruvengadam. It was during that time the last greatest war between Cholas and Pandyas took place. The Pandyas faced a devastating defeat. The Pandya king was terribly injured and fighting for life. His guards sneaked him to safety in our house in the flower garden. Nandini took them in, gave medical aids and a place to hide. Somehow, the Chola warriors sniffed it out. They entered her house and killed the Pandya king. Parvetariyar, who saw Nandini that day, was obsessed by her beauty and took her away. This happened 3 years ago, and ever since then, I've been trying to meet her at least once, but with no luck. I wish to ask her if she is happy, if she wants to be rescued from Parvetariyar, but I couldn't get near her at all. Finished Nambi with sadness and despair in his voice. Vandiyadevan felt deeply sorry for Nambi and his sister. Will you help me? Asked Nambi. Vandiyadevan was overcome with emotions, but he still couldn't fully trust Nambi. So he cautiously said, "We both know how powerful and influential Parvetariyar is. What possible help do you think I have to offer?" said Vandiyadevan. Right then, Kandamaran's servant came with a horse. "My ride is here, Nambi. I have to get going. All the best to you," said Vandiyadevan. But before leaving, Vandiyadevan turned to Nambi one last time and asked, "You really don't know who will become the next heir to the throne?" Nambi replied, "You keep asking me about the future which I don't know. If you want to find the future, I know an astrologer who resides in Kumbakonam. He's very skillful and quite famous for it. I know him very well. Go see him. Maybe you'll get the answer you're looking for," said Nambi. It didn't feel like a bad idea to Vandiyadevan. So he said goodbye to Nambi and started his horse to Kumbakonam to meet with the astrologer. And that is how Vandiyadevan ends up stumbling upon Kundavai. Once Kundavai's chariot left, Vandiyadevan entered the astrologer's house. The astrologer inquired what was his rush that made him barge in like that earlier. Vandiyadevan asked, "Can you tell me who were those two ladies that I interrupted?" For this, the astrologer said he wouldn't reveal details about his other clients and asked Vandiyadevan to put forward only his issues. Looks like Alvarkadiyan Nambi rightly spoke highly about you," said Vandiyadevan. Astrologer immediately asked, Who's Alvarkadiyan Nambi? He said you knew him very well. He is short and stout with his hair tied in a knot and carries a pole in his hand, replied Vandiyadevan. Oh, it's Thirumalai, said the astrologer. Does he go by that name too? Asked Vandiyadevan. I'm sure he goes by a different name in every town, laughed the astrologer. Does he lie sometimes? Asked Vandiyadevan, still wondering if Nambi can be trusted. The astrologer replied, lies sometime, not at all. He lies all the time. Sometimes truth accidentally slips out of him, that's all. Now, Vandiyadevan was worried if Nambi's words about the astrologer could be a lie too. Let's get to you. Tell me your name and your details, said the astrologer. My name is Vandiyadevan, said he in response. Is it the brave Vandiyadevan of Vanarkulam? Asked the astrologer. Hearing Vandiyadevan's affirmation, the astrologer informed that he has Vandiyadevan's birth chart and went in to get it. When he returned and seated himself, Vandiyadevan asked, will I be successful in my mission to Tanjavur? The astrologer replied Vandiyadevan will be successful if he is on a personal mission. But if he is on a mission for someone else, he cannot say unless he could see that person's chart too. This didn't satisfy Vandiyadevan, so he decided to be frank and asked, I'm going on a mission to meet with Emperor Sundaracholar. Will I be successful? But the astrologer was again cryptic. It's not in my hands, son. It's only in the hands of Palvettariar brothers, said the astrologer. Can you at least tell me about Aditya Karikala's future? Asked Vandiyadevan. The astrologer again gave disappointment. He replied, I don't have his birth chart, so I can't say anything about that matter. What about Madurandagar? Asked Vandiyadevan. Madurandaga's chart is a womanly one. He is always under someone else's charge, engulfed by other superiority, said the astrologer. Yeah, that's right. People already say the entire Chola dynasty is under the thumb of a woman, muttered Vandiyadevan in response. Are you talking about the elder Palvettariar's young wife? Asked the astrologer. No, I'm talking about Emperor Sundaracholar's daughter Kundavai, said Vandiyadevan. The astrologer keenly scrutinized Vandiyadevan's face to see if he recognized the astrologer's previous visitors, but Vandiyadevan's face seemed quite oblivious to the fact, so he let it slide. So, tell me this. I wish to sail in a ship. Will I ever travel the sea? Asked Vandiyadevan eagerly. The astrologer enthusiastically said, Oh, absolutely. You have every luck that will take you to the length and breadth of the country. You will mount the horse, you will mount the elephant, and in the end, you will mount a ship too. This cheered Vandiyadevan, but he could finish this meeting. Before he could finish this meeting, he asked one last thing. What can you tell me about Arulmozhivarmar and his future? The astrologer replied, You asked about sailing on a ship. Do you know which star guides the sailors through the dark nights? The star Dhruv. He was born on the same star sign. Star Dhruv is known as the Polaris star, which is more constant than a magnetic compass. He would be a guide to all young warriors like you. It would do you good to earn his friendship, finished the astrologer. Vandiyadevan expressed his gratitude, offered a few gold coins, and said his goodbye to the astrologer. The astrologer heartily blessed Vandiyadevan for his generosity and sent him on his way, wishing him luck. Vandiyadevan started his journey towards Tanjavur, aside the river Arasalara. All the information that he learned from last night's secret meet, Nambi's sad flashback, and the meet with astrologer kept clouding his mind. But the girl's face he saw in the astrologer's house beamed out of the clouds like the sun. His thoughts repeatedly went back to her. Who could she be? What is her name? Will I ever see her again? he wondered. While he was pondering all this, Vandiyadevan heard a chorus of women's voice. "Crocodile! Crocodile! Someone help us!" Hearing this, Vandiyadevan immediately charged towards the sound of those voices. Some distance away, under a huge banyan tree, he saw a bunch of women in a chaos, and one among them was the same woman he saw in the astrologer's house. Vandiyadevan also spotted a large grey crocodile in the edge of the river bank with its mouth wide open and its snarling teeth ready to snap at her. This worked up Vandiyadevan. He stormed towards the crocodile on his horse, took the spear mid-flight, aimed directly for the crocodile's head and threw the spear. But as he started nearing the crocodile, the women's cries switched to laughter. Vandiyadevan was very confused. Why did the women's cries switch to laughter? Are you all curious to know? Do come back next week for the next episode on Kadhatellaporom channel. Until then, bye!